Hello to our followers from sunny Edinburgh. You might have heard the news that Foresight and a trusted partner, Inspire Loyalty, are expanding partnership. Together, we have launched a new Foresight Loyalty module. You can check out the full details and announcement on our website. But today we want to talk to you about why are we expanding the partnership and what that means for our customers and general hoteliers. With loyalty now shaping repeat business, direct bookings, and guest spend, we're going to unpack why it matters, as well as how independent hotels and small groups can benefit just as much as the big brands. So, say hello to Alan Nelson, the CEO and co-founder of Foresight, and Steve Risk, the CEO of Inspire Loyalty, as we dive deeper into discussion of the loyalty.
Hi Justine, hi everybody. Thanks for having me.
Hi Justine and Alan, good to see you.
So Alan, in one sentence, why do hotels focus on guest loyalty?
You get 80% of your business from 20% of your guests, so you really need to look after those guests.
That's true. I got a next question. What are the common hurdles hotels need to overcome when it comes to adapting a loyalty program?
There's a number of different things. I think where it often starts is hotels do get the fear about this. I think they have a bunch of traditional problems with technology and implementing stuff like this across the business, whether those are perceived problems or actual problems. Sometimes it depends. I think implementing a loyalty program has often competed with a lot of other traditional initiatives as well. They can often have incomplete processes or incomplete data to deal with or work with, or not work with, as the case may be. And within that, being hotels, a lot of manual processes they have to deal with too. And again, they don't want to burden themselves with another manual process. And then they probably have a concern that maybe there's a disconnect between how the program would work for a guest and what a guest would expect from it, and does that actually connect with the staff? Are the staff able to support that properly? Or vice versa, do the staff maybe have too much information on loyalty that's not actually applicable to the guest? So they have to consider all of that and work their way through it.
Yeah, interesting. Would you say that the loyalty programs are more exclusively for larger hotel brands, or would you say it's also for smaller independent hotels? Does it make sense for them to have that?
I think it can now work at any level. I think traditionally it has been the preserve of the larger, the multinational chains who've had the people, the infrastructure and the scale to be able to deploy something like this. I think that's changing quite rapidly with advances in technology, but also an understanding from the hotels of they themselves, whether it's a resort or a smaller group, they are multi-million-pound businesses, and gaining loyal customers, keeping loyal customers, and the revenue that generates makes a considerable difference to their bottom line. Especially when you factor in, can we move them from OTA to direct to retain that initial revenue when it comes in, but also deal with all the ancillary stuff across the resort as well, which previously was very, very difficult to capture, and that's no longer the case.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So Steve, can you walk us through how the program actually works from guest's point of view and how Foresight adds the cherry on top?
The trust the guest has in the hotel's brand is essential, so we replicate the loyalty program following the client's brand identity guidelines, and that ensures the guest journey is consistent. The loyalty platform contains various options and features where we can set up member tiers, exclusive offers which they can see when they log in, and voucher categories according to recommendations. And we also would recommend advertising the program on the client's website to signpost them either to sign up or to log in for their exclusive offer. Sign up to the program itself is very quick, nice and simple, where the guests can use a single sign up like Google or Apple, and they can enter limited contact information really for speed, and that's really useful for marketing purposes. We also request minimum bank card details so that the member would register a bank card to simplify the earning process. So we track the member spend, which automatically converts to points, and that means we can open loyalty up to non-residential business as well. Once a member reaches the points target, they can convert their points on the loyalty website to a range of branded vouchers, and that obviously encourages repeat business. We measure all data inputs and we feed this to Foresight, and they have highly effective tools to segment that information and to personalise and deliver targeted communications.
Just to add to that, Steve, it's by adding in the integrating with the Foresight CRM, you do gain complete visibility into program performance. We can see that membership lifetime value, and we can very much pick up and track the ROI on that. And we can do that from all the various different touch points that come through the loyalty program. What that means for the hotelier is to be able to run analyses based on that, to see what's working, what's not, but also running targeted campaigns to engage those members, to boost the upsells, to build that relationship over a very, very long term.
That's true. So, Steve, as we all have experienced by visiting hotels, front desk moments matter. How easy is to recognize a member, fix a points issue, or even surprise or delight a guest on the spot?
Yeah, it's a good question. The ease of operation is critical when running a loyalty program, and equally guest recognition. So we minimise and almost remove any operational tasks by staff so they can remain focused on the guest experience. When the loyalty account is fed to the PMS, staff can instantly recognise a guest before arrival and add value to their stay, as well as welcoming them back as a member. We don't want staff having to ask if they've signed up when it's already known, and if a member's in a higher tier, they can receive their upgrades or late checkouts or a welcome drink ready for arrival. We provide a full briefing to staff pre-launch, which is vital to create awareness of the programme, and our dedicated member support team handle any member inquiries that come through.
I think CardLink is a convenient way to collect points. What exactly is tokenized, and how do you ensure security of that?
Yeah, card linking is really convenient. That's our secret sauce, if you like. It works really well. But we only collect the card number and the expiry date, and even at that, it's insufficient for any purpose other than for us to track the spend relative to the client's guests that we represent. The card number itself is actually tokenized or masked after input, so the full card number is hidden in all areas. And what we're doing here is we're verifying the card with MasterCard, Visa and Amex, and they send us a unique reference number so that we can track and convert the hotel spend into points. So it's really secure and a really easy way for us to record the spend by the member.
As we all know, hotel teams are tight for time. How does this help hotels recognize and reward guests without adding additional pressure to staff?
Well, a lot of the staff at Inspire Loyalty, including myself, spent many years in the hotel world at Marriott, Hilton, Glen Eagles Hotel, where I was for many years. So we understand the priority that front desk have, especially on serving the guest. And so the system that we've designed is central to that. Obviously minimum distraction. And to be honest, it's very much self-sufficient. The online sign-up is quick, and members are personally welcomed after they create an account online, where they can access exclusive offers, points balance, points history, and order a loyalty voucher. And there's also help links within there with our member support team as a backup to assist. The only aspect we ask staff to help with is raising awareness of the programme and the benefits of the programme. And as I mentioned earlier, we provide training for that. And because everything's automated, including the membership tier assignment, the membership recognition part of it, both through ourselves and obviously through Foresight, it's really easy to do. So everything that's been built has simplicity in mind, both for the member and also for staff. We provide a monthly management report to measure the success of the programme. We provide a record of all member data and transactional information, which again is accessed through Foresight as well. And obviously the ROI is a key metric so that we can provide a really high return on the hotel's investment, which we have proven over time. We also provide operators an online interface, so if staff want to, they can view real-time member information. And that gives them direct access to extracting the member data too, which they can do anytime, and they can filter that for quick access. And that's in addition to the tools that Foresight provide as well.
Yeah, interesting. So Alan, where does loyalty contribute beyond rooms? I'm thinking more of like spa, late checkout maybe, and how do we measure the ancillary uplift?
Well, certainly there's a lot of opportunity for ancillary uplift. The technology enables you to be offering different products and services across the resort or across the group. In terms of measurement of that, certainly from a CRM perspective, we can see what was initially booked, and then we can see what the uplift was when a guest is checked out. What that enables us to do is to offer those things within the CRM programs, within the campaigns. It allows us to gives us more information to segment and target on as well, but in terms of what guests like, what they don't like. We can also target based on availability from the hotelier side. So it also adds that more rounded picture of the guest, which again aids the segmentation and the targeting. But also when you think about it from even a small group perspective, it allows you to offer that great service, to have different things there and start to be able to cross-sell to the other properties as well. So what we often do with a lot of customers is rather than building loyalty to a particular site, often within a group there'll be more than one, and therefore can we strengthen that loyalty across the brand? Can we give a good and similar experience across more than one property that guests engage with and guests really get value from?
Yeah, amazing. And what specific hotelier problems does Foresight and Inspire Loyalty combination solve better together than separately?
Okay, well, first of all, we get all the data together, so we provide that kind of holistic overview of what has actually happened. With the loyalty program, we enable hoteliers to understand, are these members actually more valuable? Are they, because of that loyalty, are we getting more from them? And indeed, are we giving them a better service? Are they responding positively to that? So the data is together to allow us to do that. And what that allows us to do is again to create those integrated guest journeys. So when loyalty sits away in a separate system, there's often a different set of communications going on with the guest, and it's not related to marketing. Obviously, what we do is bring all of that together and we make it as part of the guest experience. We make the whole thing much more streamlined and ideally much more seamless for the guest and indeed for the hotelier, which ultimately improves the uptake, and we know that it improves the engagement as well.
And what return are hotels normally seeing out of their investment in the Inspire Loyalty?
Well, we started Inspire Loyalty offering branded loyalty back in 2010, so 16 years ago. And since then, we've provided high retention levels and repeat business to our clients. At the lower end, ROI is from times 25, but averages around times 45. We actually have one client where it's currently times 165, which is excellent. So if you think about it, if someone offered you £165 for every pound that you invested, your financial position would be really encouraging.
Can you share some success stories of the value hotels are getting out of Inspire Loyalty?
Well, loyalty used to be quite difficult to measure and to operate. Although the general advertising theory of brand awareness is important, we can now really pinpoint facts and figures with the rich data that we collect to make it a measurable investment. And as Alan's mentioned, we have so many indicators of guest behaviour to recognise, reward and engage on a more targeted and personal level. And with a branded programme, guests can feel better recognised and valued, and that increases the propensity for them to return and share their experience, which is really the main aim. Overall, it's a win-win solution to offer guest value, recognition and guest satisfaction while providing a reputational and financial reward to the hotelier.
Alan, to wrap up, why does this partnership matter for hotels right now?
Foresight's always existed to help hotels really know their guests, to craft delightful experiences for them and to earn repeat visits. So for us, a lot of it is about generating loyalty. It's about, we're looking for ways to help hotels do this easier and better. Developing this type of technology is pretty deep. There's a lot of problems that we have to solve, a lot of challenges we have to overcome with all the fragmented systems and different data points and different processes and so on. When we had conversations with Steve and Inspire Loyalty in the market, it was pretty obvious that Inspire Loyalty was a very natural extension to what we did. We thought Steve and the team had built some really pretty cool technology, really excited by the whole payment side of things and the automation of how that data is collected around the resort, how it's gathered together, how it's dealt with on the Spire side, but also what that allows us to do on the CRM side and really integrate that journey together and really to try and make it as seamless as possible for the hoteliers and for the guests. And we can deal with all that data together. We can deal with all the automation and so on, and we give the guests a great service, but also allow the hoteliers to go about their daily work whilst this thing's just working away in the background, dealing with that whole very important loyalty piece.
Sounds like a great combination for a hotel success story. If I'm honest, I personally love loyalty programs and I have so many apps on my mobile. I don't want to miss an offer and I love a bargain. So yeah, loyalty is definitely a must-have for me. But thank you both for the insights on the new Foresight loyalty module, and I hope to see you again.
Well, thanks Justine, and thanks to Alan.
Thank you for joining us today. If you'd like to explore Foresight loyalty module in action and how it can transform your guest strategy, you can book a call with our dedicated Foresight team if you're new to Foresight. If you're one of our customers, you can simply reach out to your dedicated customer success champion. See you later.